Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I am Stylosa and this is more Overwatch news, but this is an absolute mega massive bombshell. Now, I'm kind of a little bit annoyed because I did make a video for today which discussed the one hero limit that ESL are introducing for the Atlantic Showdown tournament. Because, like, having multiple heroes in the esports scene, it's a little bit dodgy because those players are extremely good, and you would expect players who are at the top of their game to find every single possible combination of heroes that kind of, you know, really push the game to its limits, let's say. Like, you'll see things like 6 Tracers would dive onto the point when the control point needs to be contested in overtime, and that could go on for 10 minutes. You'll see like double Winstons with double Lucios and all kinds of cheesy strats like that. It's of no fault to those guys. I mean, I don't blame those guys for doing it. You've got to do what you've got to do to win, especially at that level. Problem is, with esports, that becomes very boring because there's two things, right? It has to be interesting for the players, and obviously the players want to play to win, but it needs to be very interesting for the viewer, and I'm afraid it's not watching 12 Tracers jump around. It's just, well, it's crap. So yeah, I made a video and I went into this massive discussion on it, but then Blizzard have actually done what I wanted them to do while I was making that video, so maybe they've actually been listening to me, I don't even know. What they're going to do is introduce a one hero limit in competitive play. Quick play will not have a hero limit. But just listen to this quote. This is from Scott Mercer, who's the principal game designer. He says, "The big thing for competitive play is we're going to turn on one hero limit, so players will not be able to stack more than one of the same hero within a competitive match. It's not going to affect quick play at all, but it's something we're going to turn on for competitive." Now, the reason why this is fantastic, this is an awesome change, is because this will filter into the esports scene now. All the esports competitions will use one hero limit because it will become standardized, and that is fantastic for esports. What that means for us as players who play competitive is we won't be able to do things like double Lucios and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, I don't think I had that much of an issue with hero stacking in competitive play because it's not the esports scene, right? That, in my mind, they're two different things. Esports, those players may as well be on a different planet compared to the rest of us because they're just insanely good. So for them imposing a hero limit kind of made sense, but for everybody else, I don't know. But when I started thinking about it, I thought, you know what? No, actually, it is a more interesting game when there is a hero limit. Now, one of the issues Blizzard have got is when they originally started announcing Overwatch, one of the core principles of the game is that you can swap heroes and that you can stack heroes as well, and you can play what you like. They didn't want to dictate to people and say, oh no, it's okay, that guy's locked in as Reaper, so you cannot play Reaper now. They didn't want that, so they just let it be a free-for-all. Obviously, that meant that certain tactics came to the fore, which were not maybe the best. Like I've touched on, the Tracers, the double Lucios, the double Winstons, those kind of tactics, they're pretty boring. And when you look at the high end and you look at the esports, every single game, if it was a control point map, you could kind of expect what you were going to see. Like, almost all of the time it'd be the same team builds, the same fight, and then Tracers spamming the point. It's not very good, and it's really boring to watch. So it was great that ESL introduced the one hero limit in that regard, and I would have kind of been okay with that. Like I said, I would have still been fine if competitive play didn't actually have it. But now Blizzard are saying competitive play will have a one hero limit, so you can only play one hero on each team, so you can't have double soldiers or anything like that, just one of that hero type. That means now, for anybody who wants to maybe push into esports, they're actually playing the esports rule set, because I'm pretty confident that every single tournament will adopt that. No, I mean, they will not allow hero stacking anymore. It will just be one hero and let's do it. And what this opens up is loads of different kinds of strategies, and it'll make the game way more interesting to watch. And it should probably make the game more interesting to play as well, guys. I want to know what you think about this, though, in the comments below, because this is it is a massive change. I honestly did not expect Blizzard to do this because of how, like, not against it, but they've always said, no, hero swapping is part of the game. Being able to stack heroes, it's part of the game. We do not want to restrict what heroes you can play. But now what they're saying is, after they've actually watched a lot of competitive games be played, a lot of the esports stuff and all of that, they're realizing that the game is actually, yeah, it's not that great when people start stacking heroes. It's interesting to see how people play with certain heroes, like I said, with the double Winstons and all of that stuff. Yeah, sure, it's interesting, but when you start seeing it all the time, or it just becomes the default thing to do, you know, I've been guilty of this. Like, the first point on Hollywood, if you send 2 Winstons over the right-hand side, because you can actually jump over the arch directly onto the point, I mean, they're unstoppable. They get straight onto the point, and it's double Winston. A lot of the time that works. Sometimes it doesn't work, but a lot of the time it does. Now, really, what is the skill? Where are the tactics in that? There isn't really. Anyway, it's just get 2 Winstons, get a Lucio, speed boost, jump, and that's kind of it. And the rest of the team follow through. That won't be happening anymore. It will in quick play, but it won't be happening in competitive play. Which, like I said, I was sort of indifferent. Like, for me, I wasn't really too bothered if they decided to say it was still unrestricted in competitive play, and I wouldn't really be too bothered if they actually decided to bring in the 1 hero limit in competitive. I wanted to see it in esports, and that is coming in. And obviously now with the competitive change, it means that esports will stabilize and they will have a standardized rule set, as I keep saying in this video. So actually, the more I look at it, the more I think it's better that they actually are introducing the 1 hero limit for competitive. But this is massive news, though, guys. This is massive. This is like game-changing news, because the way the game will be played now will be totally different. Guys, I've been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then subscribe to the channel, like the video. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and I'll catch you next time, guys. Toodaloo.